Welcome back, Halo followers. It seems as though Halo Campaign Evolved may be releasing far sooner than all of us expected. It may, sorry to ruin the surprise, if this is true, be shadow dropping at the Xbox Game Showcase on June 7th. That is less than 60 days from now, which sounds absolutely mind-boggling and impossible, like a fake rumor. But the thing is, I very clearly remember covering the same kind of rumors right before Halo Infinite's multiplayer shadow dropped a few years ago. So this is something that 343 has liked doing in the past, at least once before for the last Halo game, and here we are hearing the same things. And Rebs Gaming, a prominent journalist, actually covered this recently. He said that the current Campaign Evolved build being tested is pretty much content complete and playable from start to finish, including the prequel missions. Now, I do not believe he himself said that this was going to be shadow dropped. This is actually coming from other random sources that may be completely making this up, but if Rebs in his sources are saying that the game is already complete and that they're way ahead of what we expected the game is going to be here. After all, they're just remaking Halo 1. It's not a super long game, and they're reusing a lot of assets. Like he also said that while they are still reusing Infinite's assets for Campaign Evolved, we could still see very subtle design changes from what was shown during the reveal. And of course, a lot of this game is built on Halo 1 code. And this is coming from the fallout of the massive allegations that an ex-art director at 343 made against Halo Studios, where he said that the company was involved in some serious misconduct and terrible practices to their employees, including him. And Microsoft caught wind of this, and they said publicly, according to Windows Central, out of respect, we don't publicly discuss individual employee issues, but we take all claims seriously for both current and former employees. And this is coming apparently from an Xbox spokesperson. Are they going to look into this and find out what is going on? I think it's really fair at this point that they do a serious investigation and find out what is actually going on. Hopefully everything's Gucci and good over there. I think a lot of people just simply are not surprised. Their expectations are in hell, and the bar is just very low for Halo at the moment, especially with Halo fans. Like, I don't think a lot of people expect anything other than an apology and a broken game at launch. So I think that's kind of been what we've been trained into expecting at this point. But Halo fans are very easy to hype up. You know, it doesn't take very much. We're all talking about the Fanta customization, and speaking on that, Rebs Gaming actually confirmed, or at least his sources said, Master Chief will have a skin system that will allow you to change his appearance. I wonder if this is going to be like a menu thing where you don't have to back out to the main menu, but rather you can do it while in game in a way, so you can quickly swap between custom armors that you can either unlock through achievements like playing the game on heroic or legendary, or you can switch to promotion skins like a Mountain Dew skin or a Fanta skin, things like that. He also said many of the custom armors are based on the Mark V, while some give Chief's armor a whole new twist. So could we see like a infected Master Chief? Could we see a Halo 4 and a Halo Infinite Master Chief skin? I think those things would be really welcomed and cool, as long as they're not too wacky, but it's just a single player game, so I don't really think it's that big of an issue, but there is certainly a lot of potential here. And Rebs also said you should expect weapons to also be customizable, and we saw a lot of that with Halo Infinite, and I think that generally it was a welcome thing. Obviously, some of the models and the weapon skins sucked and were super out of place. You don't have to use them, you don't, but you know, when it comes to multiplayer, it's just ugly to look at. But here in the single player experience, hopefully most of the weapon skins and armor skins will be lore friendly, or at least fit the theme of the story, right? And most of the body skins will apparently be based on the current gen. I'm probably expecting there to be a few others that are like from Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Infinite. But yeah, I think without a doubt, we are getting closer to something very exciting happening with the game, or at least some kind of reveal. And to me, I mean, I'm excited to play this. I'm really excited about those 3 new prequel missions that none of us have ever played before, and to see what 343 has done, bringing back older weapons like the carbine, I think, and also picking up the energy sword is going to be kind of a refreshing, small but refreshing thing to see in Halo 1. And this is not going to be mind-boggling or anything. I'm sure those 3 campaign missions are going to be rather short, but to hear that the game is pretty much finished, they're probably just working out a lot of the bugs, increasing the quality of life things. It really sounds like we could be getting very close to a shadow launch. While there is some speculation that Halo Campaign Evolved won't even be releasing on physical because of this, I think that's unlikely because Microsoft is probably going to be wanting to increase sales like on the PS5 and get more exposure out there and kind of involve themselves in the culture. I don't think it's going to be like a no physical copy kind of thing, right? I think that would be kind of crazy, especially the fact is that this isn't really made for Halo fans. This is made to get more people into the franchise. And another thing that I found rather interesting, and that Rebs talked about this a little bit, and by the way, sources down in the description for everything here, is that there are still several surprises for Halo Campaign Evolved's prequel missions and skulls that my original source won't reveal. And his source actually told him to wean off on some of the details because things are getting a little bit hot. I'm guessing this is probably because things were coming out with Glenn. I'm not sure, but he said, I spoke to another source who confirmed everything I previously reported, says we could see a very subtle design changes to Infinite's reused assets, and shared a development update that confirms a summer release is very possible. And so there we are. We're already hearing that it's not going to release in November because of GTA 6. We started hearing some idea about September, but now we're looking at possibly a shadow launch, right? And that's what some other sources are saying, I believe. But he also says, remember that the majority of development is being handled by abstraction. So funny enough, I think this is kind of a big deal. It's that this game isn't even being developed by Halo Studios as much as we think it is. Despite the current issues at Halo Studios, there's still a chance for Campaign Evolved to be great. I hope they credit abstraction instead of taking all the credit like Peer did with Halo MCC. This actually makes a lot of sense because 343 loves outsourcing stuff, and even though 343 has found themselves in quite a lot of hot water recently, especially with the big allegations coming from many ex-343 employees, it seems. I will say that it really does feel like most of the industry is having the same exact issues that Halo Studios 343 have been having. Like, it's not just Halo. I mean, you look at any popular franchise, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, things like this, the big, beautiful franchises that we grew up with are suffering from the exact same issues. So even though it really does feel like Halo's dead, I mean, most franchises that are pretty popular have been suffering. I mean, you look at Call of Duty. I mean, it's really everything that's struggling in some way or another. And even Glenn mentioned that the whole AAA industry, basically, I'm paraphrasing, is struggling right now. But what do you guys think about all this? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one soon. Peace.